Welcome, welcome to my humble abode. I am, of course, deeply honored to have you back again. Please disregard the lighting. We have a artificial lighting system here which replicates sunlight and natural lighting. Some of the clients quite enjoy it. They find it a reminder of many years ago. Now, I understand you're in the market for some security systems, and don't you worry, I am here to help. Now, of course, we have the standard coffins available for you. Reinforced titanium outside, inner latch, and of course a slick surface that repels such things as crowbars and various devices that would gain access. This is, of course, standard with all of our resting arrangements. But I know that you are a careful individual, and after living for so many centuries, you want to guarantee that you will be here for many more, and that is why you have come to me. I will be happy to help. Let me recommend a few of our pièce de résistance items. This one is one of my favorite. We call it the undercarriage. So, it has a false lock on the outside. Now, obviously, your servants and various people who would be working in your castle or manor would be aware not to touch it. But in the extremely unlikely event that a slayer should make their way all the way past your many and I'm sure impressive defenses, they will see that lock. Now, I want to be clear, it doesn't look like it will simply pop right open, because that would be too obvious. No. It does look like a heavy-duty lock, but one that could be picked by one who knows about such things. So, here's the scenario. They take their lockpick, they've inserted it inside, they've inserted the counter, and they've just begun to turn the tumbler, not realizing none of those things will do the slightest bit of good. Well, here's the surprise. They are going to be able to pick that lock, but when it clicks into place, several things will happen simultaneously. The first is it will deliver many thousand volts of electricity directly into that lockpick that they are holding. This will, of course, be fatal to a great many of the mortals out there. But we're not going to depend on that, because very often these slayers go in pairs, sometimes even 3 of them together. So at best, we would just kill one of them, and we really want to take out the whole bunch. I mentioned that it is called the undercarriage. Now, the underside is false, and every single inch of it is filled with tiny metal flechettes. Now, some of these slayers, they will wear reinforced armor on their chest. Some of them, in a, if I am fair, rather ingenious, will even put a chainmail of a very fine mesh on their neck to protect them from biting. But you know, they don't tend to think of their legs, because so few vampires attack that way. And these flechettes will shoot out in 360 degrees, so even if they were flanking, even if they were near the door, they are all going to fire out. Each one is laced with a bit of neurotoxin that will render them instantly unconscious. Now, why not simply coat it with something a little more deadly? Well, here's the thing. You'll be waking up soon, and when you rise out of your coffin, raising yourself up, you'll see the smoking dead corpse of the one who was foolish enough to try and pick the lock. But there are all his companions. So you will be able to question them to your heart's content to find out if they have any compatriots, how they obtained the information, how they were able to penetrate your defenses so you can shore them up for next time. And of course, as my favorite bonus, it will provide you with dinner for that evening. Let's keep that one in mind. Now, going with the theme of a false bottom, I got this from a magician friend of mine. He was discussing a trick that he was working on. We have somewhat similar industries where the things we build are not entirely what they appear to be. This one is resting on a pedestal, as some, such as yourself, enjoy to do. And if it is tampered with in any way, if the lock is attempted to be forced, if someone takes a crowbar to the edge and tries to pry it open, if it even receives a substantial shock, such as someone throws explosives in the room, it will trigger instantly a few things to happen. Most importantly to you, the bottom of it will open up instantly. You will then drop down several dozen feet to a spare coffin below. The moment that your sleeping form lands, it will close on top of you and push down slightly. It will be a snug fit, but it will be impervious to any who would try to get in. The tunnel that has led down to it will immediately close and not allow access to you. Now, of course, once you do awake, you will simply be able to press a button to open and bring yourself back up. Now, this is incredibly helpful, of course, but there's still the matter of the slayers upstairs. We can't have that, can we? So, the remaining coffin, the one that you were in but moments before, will actually spring open and gas will come out. Acidic gas will come out. It's actually your choice if you would like acidic gas that will kill the mortals and leave them gasping as their very lungs turn to jelly and they die where they stood for the temerity to dare and face against you. Or, at your pleasure, we can also include the neurotoxin that will render them unconscious so that you can have yourself that snack we discussed before and that delightful interrogation. But we do have one more, and this one is rather fun. Now, let us say that one of our craftsmen is a big fan of Japanese animation. Don't worry if you're not familiar with it. It's something that just came out in the last century. But they come to your coffin, and they're doing their regular prying it open, got their steaks at the ready, ooh, got my cross, all that sort of thing. Imagine this. Your coffin stands up. Yes, no, I'm quite serious. Your coffin will actually stand up, and from the sides will detach two very large spiked arms, and at the bottom a treadmill of sorts that gives it mobility. It will then beat them unconscious or to death at your, again, discretion, until you are ready to awake. You will fight them while you are asleep. Now, I know this sounds fantastical, but when you work in our industry, you have access to technology that is not generally available to the public, if you know what I mean. Now, of course, this comes with a substantial price tag, so it is entirely up to you. All three? At your 3 different safe locations? I may close up early today. You have definitely made my day. Now, good sir, you understand that I deal with the Nosferatu, such as yourself, day in and day out. I have received extensive mental conditioning to protect me from your gaze, so I'm afraid that none of these will be free. You also, of course, can slay me at your pleasure. Your power is great, and you are far exceeding me in any of my pathetic physical attributes as a mere mortal. However, I have made a great many friends with your associates scattered throughout the world. Should anything happen to me, you would be visited by one or many of them, all of which are armed with items that I have developed throughout the years. Yes, I think that is a better arrangement, that you purchase them. I take cash, check, or credit, sir. Yes, yes, I do actually take PayPal. You are one who is keeping up with the times. I am impressed. So, you just need to let us know which of your facilities you want them installed, and we'll get to work right away. The one with the drop tunnel will take some time to construct, of course, and embed into the facility. But when it is done, anyone who comes to attempt to end your unlife will be in for a nasty surprise.